What's up everybody, welcome to Inside the Game, your one source for everything cool in video games. Now you can always be a part of the show by going to InsideTheGame.ca or hitting us up on Discord, where there you can submit your clip and end off our show. Now coming up on this week's show, we've got lots of reviews, a great interview about the Path of Calydra, and one of the funniest Let's Plays yet. So to get things started, here it is, you know how we do it, it's the Inside Scoop. Is 2K just getting a little bit too greedy? Advertisements are popping up within NBA 2K21, and well, feedback on this isn't going very well. The players themselves are not impressed. Over on the NBA 2K21 Twitter feed, 2K tweeted out an apology. Sort of. As many are aware, in recent years, ads have been integrated into 2K21 segments. Yesterday's 2K21 ad placement impacted our players' experience in a way we didn't intend. As these ads are not meant to run as part of the pre-game introduction, this will be fixed in future episodes. Thanks for your continued feedback. It's no secret, ads pay. It's how they kind of generate a lot of money, and while 2K I think is doing just fine, ads are always a nice bonus, but it impacts all of us as a player a little bit differently, and a lot of us really don't like it. But moving forward into next-gen consoles, NBA 2K21 isn't getting any easier. You actually have to purchase a full new game. A lot of us see upgrades for free via Ubisoft, for example, saying Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, free upgrade when you get the next-gen console. 2K sees things otherwise, and they're gonna make you pay a full $80 when the game comes out for next-gen. Are you getting the game? Let us know at InsideTheGame.ca. What do you think about next gen and these microtransactions turning a little bit differently now as they're going right into ads?
So I know lately we keep talking about next gen consoles. We're talking about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. We've maybe even hinted at what Nintendo's doing coming into 2021 with a possible new Switch console. But we haven't talked about this one company that's making their own console that's also launching in November. Atari. That's right, Atari is releasing the Atari VCS game console, and it's actually going to be dropping right in line with the PlayStation 5 in early November. And this is a really kind of interesting idea, because our Atari's kind of that nostalgic, you know, the Atari 2600, lots of people have, you know, many memories with that console, and the fact that we're going to be seeing a new Atari console that you can now pre-order for $389, that's right, $389, and it's not what you think. This game comes preloaded with 100 games already available, and it's not just some remake of a retro console like we've seen with, you know, the mini PlayStations and the mini NESs and Super NESs and Sega Genesis and things like that. This is an absolute redesign, and we're getting a whole bunch of new features with this one. Unlike the original Atari VCS, which first went on sale in 1977, the new version comes tech ready for 2020 with an AMD Ryzen CPU, an AMD Radeon GPU, and 8 gigs of RAM, which is also expandable. It can pump out games at 4K HDR, which is unbelievable. The Atari VCS also comes with a USB 3.0, HDMI and Ethernet port for wired connections, as well as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for wireless connectivity. The big improvements over the original version of the console actually come in the form of a modern controller that Atari has kind of modeled after the Xbox controller. Where the VCS differs from a standard game console is the fact that it offers a dedicated PC mode, which means that you can actually install a secondary operating system like Windows on a bootable external USB that uses the VCS as a home computer as well. That's so cool. There'll also be a custom storefront that is going to allow you to download additional games and applications, also, different video streaming apps, music players, and web browsers. And the Atari VCS is available for pre-order right now for $389, and it comes in 3 different colors: black walnut, onyx black, and carbon gold. Let me tell you, this is a really cool one. I think Atari's kind of sneaking in here, and this is a very interesting console with a whole bunch of different design elements that maybe some of these newer next-gen consoles won't have. So it's kind of interesting to see that they're dropping it at the same time. Hopefully for them it works out, but this one definitely caught my eye.
We're all big fans of The Last Oasis, and if you haven't checked out the early access game yet, maybe this will convince you. There's a brand new update, and we are excited once again to jump back in. The Commerce update focuses largely on trade, but also promises players a slew of new improvements and fixes to further enhance their nomadic lifestyles. We'll be able to check out a new map, the Ancient City map, a brand new map for nomads to explore featuring new loot sites, new Rupu camps, and more. Wandering merchants. This is new and exciting as well. New wandering merchants can be found even in the most unexpected places with unique trade orders. There's trading station quests, a new source of slots for nomads who fulfill quests for the floratilia, like hunting dangerous wildlife and transporting goods. Trading auctions, global flot vaults, trade order, and a brand new walker, the Salur Walker, a new walker that allows nomads to pack and transport heavily defended stone bases. We got a quote from Chad's, our good friend of the show, from Donkey Crew, the creative director and project lead, and he had this to say. While the Commerce update is bringing many highly anticipated features to Last Oasis, we're also introducing core changes to the game mechanics and its balance to make it feel like a whole new experience. While the new Commerce update looks absolutely incredible, we can't wait to jump out the Ancient City map and see if we can find that wandering merchant. For more on Last Oasis, head over to InsideTheGame.ca or hit us up on our YouTube channel.
If there's one thing gamers like to do, it's customize their gear and their setups, whether it's in-game or with the controllers or consoles they're playing with. Well, the next-gen consoles are definitely no stranger to that as well. We're definitely starting to see some more customizable things popping up in the form of faceplates for the PS5. That's right, people are already making faceplates that will click on to change the color of your console. This website, PlateStation 5, is actually offering up 5 different plate designs. Blue, there's a chromatic, there's kind of like a camo jungle, and then a matte black. There's a couple cool, really cool designs here, and I thought it was really interesting to see that, there's already people kind of jumping on the fact that maybe not everybody loves that huge white router-looking console that we're going to be getting when we pick up the PS5, and that maybe somebody's going to want to change the outside color and kind of customize it to, fit their liking. So it's kind of cool to see that there's already companies out there kind of jumping on this, and this website, PlayStation 5, has said that they're going to be shipping as close to launch as possible within 2 weeks, they said, so they can obviously get those back plates out to people so they can start customizing their new consoles in their living rooms or wherever they have them placed in their homes. So I thought it was pretty neat, and it's only $40 actually, so it seems fairly cheap, so hopefully there is some quality here as well, but we'll have to see once this stuff starts coming out. I'm sure these guys are kind of just the first ones on this train. There's definitely going to be a lot of other third-party companies jumping in to do things like this, whether it's for the PlayStation, for the Xbox, but it was kind of interesting to see this one kind of hop in for the PlayStation, and it'll be interesting to see going forward if we're going to be getting more designs from the same company, or maybe we're going to get some copycats going forward.
Ubisoft is looking for players to connect worldwide, and it all starts with the launch of Watch Dogs Legion on October 29th. Ubisoft is changing their ecosystem for players and services. No longer will you have to worry about the Uplay and the Ubisoft Club. Instead, it will be completely expanded and refreshed into a Ubisoft Connect app service. A decade ago, Ubisoft was one of the first publishers to enhance players' experience with more services and social features. We wanted to build upon this legacy to fulfill Ubisoft's vision of a global community and bring these benefits to all our players, says Charles Hatteau, Ubisoft's creative director on Ubisoft Connect. Next generation gaming goes beyond technological improvements and better graphics. To us, as a creator and publisher, it is about bringing more fluidity and versatility in the experience to have the freedom to play games on whatever device and with whoever you want, says Stephanie Petrotti, Ubisoft's Vice President of Online Services. Ubisoft Connect is our take on a new seamless experience to not only ease the transition between generations and platforms, but also be the starting point of new services that further contribute to new and more player-centric ways and to enjoy gaming. Ubisoft's new app will be on all platforms from PC to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and of course, your mobile device. And you can look for that very soon, as well as staying with your friends and staying connected. Looks like that Sam bot that would always give you that little bit of information every time you jumped into a Ubisoft title is no longer going to happen, and we'll get all of our tips and new techniques and rewards through the Ubisoft Connect.
Hello, and welcome to another preview with Inside the Game. I'm Scott, and this time we're looking at Exocore. This is Exocore, and where do I begin with this one? How about with the Exo? You are a soldier in an exosuit, tasked to fight the enemy and conquer the battlefield. Now, these battlefields are usually in a space setting of some sort. They could be close, they could be in outer space, but you are accompanied by your exosuit, a customizable, somewhat customizable piece of power armor that enables you to fly and combat the enemy at great speeds. The exosuit comes with several different weapons, and you access them through the number keys, and that kind of dictates how you are going to, play yourself out in the battle. There is not a class system like similar games, but in the way that you can change up what your supposed class would be by just picking another weapon and relicking yourself to that style of gameplay. It's extremely fast-paced, and the jetpack allows you to continue on your motion if you do happen to fall off of a mountain or just kick up off of a dune. There's a lot of these sand dunes in these space levels that could present kind of an issue because fall damage is real in this game. The style of play in this game is really kind of up to the game type that you're playing. There is a capture the flag mode, there's a team deathmatch, and a normal deathmatch style mode. And they can be quite intense. When you get a lot of players in the game, it's a lot of hectic movement and combat, and that is either gonna make this game or break this game for the casual player. When it comes to the environments that you're in, it's a little lackluster. There is somewhat of a scenery change as you go through these different space-themed levels, but for the most part, it's very desolate, kind of sand dune badlands sort of environment that you're going through. And that's not really the standout here. This game is all about quick and calculated combat maneuvers, not really about exploration whatsoever. Actually, just to finish on that point of exploration, you are kind of punished for falling. I mentioned that the fall damage is a very real effect in this game, especially with that jetpack. You would think that you could kind of fly around, but it's really not the case. If you slam into the ground or a wall with speed, you could just end up ending that playthrough. The fall damage, the quick speed and maneuvering, the many enemies you fight, and clouds of missiles following you. This game is very unforgiving, and that makes it hard to get in as a casual player. This game is definitely going to appeal to those hardcore Doom and Quake type of shooter. Now, if you do happen to be a casual player jumping into a frantic mess like this, there is a tutorial mode to teach you the ropes and how to maneuver yourself around, how to switch through weapons and that sort of thing. At least they put that in, as well as a bot match. You can fill up a match entirely with CPUs, tweak their difficulties, and fight it out that way. And good on them for adding that, because if you just jump into an online match and you find people that have been playing this game a little bit longer than you, you're gonna have a very rough time equating yourself into that frantic mess. That being said, there is a very high ceiling. If you get into this game and it is something that you're super into, you can handle the fast speed and the massive amounts of firepower, you can continue to play this game and really master it. Although my opinions of this game are very mixed, I have to say that I do enjoy the fast shooter myself. I've been into Doom, Quake, and those kinds of multiplayer matches for quite a long time, so it really got into me in that kind of a very slight, specific type of game. But for the casual player, I'm gonna have to not recommend this game just because it has kind of a steep learning curve that some people just are not going to be able to stick around for. And that's okay. This game is about the hardcore, and those people will continue to rise and get better and better until there's inevitably some sort of a tournament, and they hopefully get rewarded for their time.
There is a time when each of us just wants to escape.
Hey everybody, we have a special couple guests here with us today. We're talking about the Path of Calydra, and this is a unique spin with the developers and how things are set up. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves and talk about and just kind of explain how the game has come to be and what it's all about.
My name is Vinicius. I'm working with Final Boss. Final Boss is the developer of Calydra, and we are working from Brazil. I'm the lead programmer on the project.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Warsaw Game Studios. Warsaw Game Studios is a developer and startup publisher. This is our first publishing deal. We are a developer of games like Bee Simulator and Giants Uprising, and the Path of Calydra is a unique deal because it's both co-development via our team and publishing via our second.
That's very unique in the fact that you're working from two different locations and you're getting in the world of publishing now too. Let's dive in a little bit before we get into the game. What is that now, like that process? And have you learned a lot there, Lucas, coming in now as a publisher too, as well as being on the front line as a developer as well?
So B Simulator, so our first game that was published a year ago with a publisher, so Big Brain Interactive, Nacon Publishing, was a game that we achieved many positive feedback from our marketing. So the first 2 years of development we did as a developer, all the marketing. We announced the game, we showed the game on Gamescom, we showed the game on all of the PAXs in US, and the amount of work that we did, the positive impact of this work, our marketing, was a huge lesson for us. But still, we wanted to have B Simulator as a game published both in box version. So, like, it's impossible to publish a game on Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft consoles in box edition without having a publisher, someone that is distribution with all the channels and that kind of experience.
Right.
But still, we did even cooperating with a big publisher. We still did all the social medias for our game. Everything that you've seen, every movie that we showed on social medias of B Simulator was our job. So this is a huge experience also cooperating with the publisher, what was good and what was bad. The elements that they did good with our game helped us to make the pipeline how to publish a game, our next games and the games that we will be a publisher, the best way. So, for example, they did many fairs like Gamescom, big amount of money invested in that kind of fairs.
Yeah.
We invested many interesting ideas. So not much money, but good ideas. This is a big difference. And what we want to do with Calydra is to publish the game that we wanted our game to be published. So all the elements that we worked on and all the good elements that our publisher gave us, we wanted to have in our way of publishing games. And what is unique with my company is that we are seeking for unique projects. We seek for projects I call it games from different perspectives. So something that games that have for example, not a typical mechanics. We will in next steps we will tell you about the mechanics of Calydra, but the main core gameplay mechanics in the game are very interesting, and that was one of the reasons why we decided to start cooperating with Final Boss. And definitely our experience in developing games and our team was also one of the reasons why we are doing project together, because Final Boss, the CEO of this company, so Marcel Vivas, he was seeking also for not only for money, not only for publishing experience, but also for team that will help to develop the game. So people that will help make the game better. And I think that I don't know what will Vinicius tell, but I think that we are helping much with developing the game and with changing some of the ideas that previously was good, now they are better. So this is not a typical publishing deal, just give me money, just give me marketing, and that's it. We are adding much more.
Why don't we dive into the Path of Calydra? What is it all about? What is your game focused about, and the mechanics within it that make it so different than everybody else?
The Path of Calydra, the main hook of the game is the backpack.
Yeah.
You throw a small boy. He's just a normal boy, but he goes to this other world that's Calydra, and then he knows he meets Calydra. That's this entity of this world that she needs his help because she's too weak and needs to restore her powers. The main hook of the game is that the Calydra is inside Mateo's backpack. So inside his backpack, when you progress through the game, you find another magics and skills, and the backpack it's gonna transform through the game. You have elemental powers. like the backpack will turn into an earth backpack, and then it will spawn big arms, and you can fight enemies and break walls with them. And you find the wind backpack, and then she will become a yellow backpack with a big eye, and you can float with the yellow backpack and use another magics. Every backpack have multiple magics that you can use.
That's very cool. There seems to be an emphasis on the story of the main character kind of being picked on at the beginning. I've watched a couple trailers and things on the game, and everybody has this sense of wanting to escape reality sometimes, right? Or just get away from what's happening in the world. And it seems to be brought over into the story here as well. Can we touch on like where did that come from? The idea of, you know, you start off as a little young one there and to get picked on and then just want to go elsewhere. And I think that's one of the biggest things I think that video games brings is the ability for us to kind of escape when we need to.
Yeah, Marcio, that's the creative director of the game. He wants to go with this idea. I think, like you said, everyone wanted to escape from reality sometime. Myself included. When I was in high school, the main thing that kept me going was video games. I used to love. I still love and play games a lot, but at that time, it was the only thing that I wanted to do all day. And I believe there are a lot of people that use video games to escape. And in the case of Calydra, Mateus goes to another world to escape his problems.
My perspective. I am 36 right now, and I play computer games for 31 years right now. So, like, definitely there was a part of my life the same like Matthias. So, like, I wanted to escape, like, change the reality, the vision of computer games. Of course, today computer games are completely different. So they are showing much bigger quality, and the reality there in the new computer games like Calydra is completely different. So it's like when you see the trailers, you see that the world that you really believe that it's you going into the Calydra world. But still, I believe that like COVID-19, the current situation also shows that like computer games are our way just to maybe relax in like forget about all the things that are happening around us, all the stress that we've got surrounded with the current situation. And like very interesting, this is the part of the game that I personally like when I've seen the game for the first time. So I've seen also the same as you, some of the trailers, some of the mechanics of the game. But I think that this backpack mechanics is something that like we also have like that kind of ideas. What extra possibilities may we have in this world? And this backpack is full of this magic. So not only changing the reality, but also like giving extra abilities, something that Path of Calydra is definitely very good at.
Yeah, we touched, like you said, right? I think we've all at one point in our lives want to escape from our current situation, our day-to-day life. And video games is one of the biggest ways that allows people to do that. And then when I saw the Path of Calydra, it was a unique take that I've been brought to other worlds. We've played video games like you for so long. You know, I've started back in Coleco, so you know I've been around myself. So, but to play and move into what we're into today, into the worlds we do dive into, the creatures within this world I thought were so magical when I saw them whisper by in certain moments, and then you see this one creature fly through the air. Like, where did these creature designs come from?
Well, it started a long time ago with Marcio. He originally was working as a sea biologist. So he knows a lot of creatures, different creatures. mostly from the sea. So he wanted to create a magical world, but with these magical creatures, just original creatures. That was something that you see a creature and you say like, this is Calydra, this is from Calydra. Mm-hmm. So it was a heavy focus on creating interesting and charming monsters from the game.
No, absolutely. They definitely caught my eye right away.
My head of studio, so Maciek, he always tells me that, like, when you see a computer game, when you see, I don't know, a Steam page of a computer game, and you see something that, like, keeps you watching, is the best way how to promote a computer game. So Path of Calydra have that kind of unique opponents or, like, environment that it, like, when you see it, you know that it's Calydra, and you will remember during our whole marketing process, just starting, that, and you will know specifically that this screen is definitely Calydra, not any other.
Guys, I don't want to take your time all day long. I could stay here all day and chat. However, why don't we end off with one final note? What do you want everybody to take away when they play the Path of Calydra?
Well, I believe when you play Path of Calydra, the thing that you take is that you can immerse yourself in a new world, a new magical world, and you can just forget about the real world and have a good time using your magic and have a great adventure.
Nice.
It's a great, like, when I played the demo that I got from Marcio, I told to my wife that it's a great game just for Friday, like today, to see it after a job and relax, and like to completely change the environment and completely forget about what happened during this week and just start a good weekend. So, like, have a good weekend in some June, July next year with Calydra.
Oh man, I can't wait. We'll have to wait though until 2021 for the Path of Calydra.
Discover a world full of colors. Sweet little creatures and superpowers. But remember that escaping from one fight won't save you from the next. Help Calydra restore her powers and bring peace to Kalisgor. Become the hero this world desperately needs.
Adam, this week you better get lacing up them skates because we're hopping back out on the ice in NHL 21.
Picture being thrust into a foreign culture.
The Washington Capitals are pleased to select Alexander Ovechkin.
I can barely speak the language. But you do speak one language that everyone understands.
Ovechkin fires, he scores! Cross-up score! Ovechkin!
Picture yourself celebrating every goal like it's your first. Or maybe,
Here comes Ovechkin.
like it'll be your last. You make a big splash, because it's who you are. And that puts a big target on your back.
All right, Adam, like I said in the intro, we're back out on the ice in EA Sports NHL 21. We've got Alexander Ovechkin gracing us on the cover again. And you know what? I think it was a good fit this year. We're kind of looking at kind of a re-energize of some of the old modes in this game compared to last year. Because I know a lot of fans kind of thought last year was a bit of a flop, so they're looking for some changes in the new iteration this year coming forward. So what did you think when you first jumped into NHL 21?
Yeah, well, the big mode that they're going with this year is the whole revamp of the Be a Pro mode, right?
Yeah.
And to start off with that OV intro, that video, man, it's sick.
Yeah, goosebumps,
you know, to start your legacy, and then you just get right into it, and it really shows, like, you know, how to become that pro and how to build that legacy. And it's a really good job revamping it, because basically I started off in the Memorial Cup, or you can start right into the NHL, and you got to build your player up, and you got to go through the draft process. And then once you finally get drafted, you start getting you get on the ice with your teammates, and then you start noticing the changes, because you've got your brand to manage, you got your teammates' likability to manage, and then you got management as well. So basically, to manage these likabilities, you go through these conversations with your coach or your teammates or the GM, and basically they give you things to achieve either on the ice or off the ice, and depending on whether or not you can score these goals that they want you to score, or just go bowling with your teammates, that's how you kind of level up your player and unlock the skills on the skill tree and such.
Yeah, and so like you're saying here with this skill tree, this is also a new element to this Be a Pro. So we've talked a little bit about the conversation element that we do have now in Be a Pro, which is a little more towards the Madden and FIFA side of Be a Pro. Right. We never had this in NHL before, so it is kind of an interesting implementation. It's all text-based, it's not voiceovers, so there isn't too many cinematics. You're basically just kind of going through what looks like text message windows, and you're picking your conversation choices. And as you pick these certain choices, there's usually a neutral choice, a team choice, and then sometimes an all-star choice. And I found the neutral and team choices to be very like vanilla, like you're playing the good guy, but the all-star one is like super ignorant sometimes. Like every once in a while it's just like, okay, I get it, you're being the superstar, but I just feel like a real NHL superstar, especially in their rookie year, isn't gonna talk like that. No. So I mean, I understand the way they got to play it up to make the choices seem a little more extreme on either end, and it does affect your likability meters as you go through, and the idea is to build those up as quickly as possible. But again, moving a little bit away from the conversations, you do get into some of these other elements with the skill tree, as we kind of collect skill points as we upgrade our player and level our player up. So this year it's a little bit different, because we've never had a skill tree. This is almost like an RPG skill tree, kind of, in the sense where you get to pick what areas you want to improve your player. So I went with a sniper kind of base build overall. You and I have been playing NHL together for a long time. You're always kind of a power forward type guy, at least that's your go-to on EA Sports Hockey League. Mine's a sniper, so that's where I started this year. And I liked how there was kind of the ability to go back in, like those years past where you got to add the +3s and the +5s and really customize that skater build. So at least in the Be a Pro this year, we have the ability to really tailor our kind of play style. Because I'm a sniper, I wanted to go a little hit heavy, because I already knew I have good shots, so at least if my guy's tough enough out there, I can also score goals and also make room for my teammates. So I did like the implementation of the skill tree this year, because I thought it kind of gives you back that customization we've kind of lost over the last couple of years, especially when it comes to the Be a Pro players and the EA Sports Hockey League players. So overall, I think the Be a Pro mode has been a really nice refresh. Unfortunately, I think the only place it falls short really is the fact that it doesn't really extend past your rookie season that much. It's all about the chase for the Calder Trophy, and if once that's over, there's not a whole lot of support for the Be a Pro after that into your into seasons beyond the first season. So for me, I really enjoyed it. I think they're headed in the right direction here when it comes to adding this all these different changes into this mode that's kind of become stale over the years. So it was nice to see kind of them go in this direction with the Be a Pro.
All right, Corey, so another mode they kind of revamped this year is the Hut Rush mode. So it's kind of an extension to your Hut team. You can kind of quickly jump in with a squad you drafted, and you get into these quick games where, you're playing the mascots or playing other all-stars, and you get rewarded with this new scoring multiplier. You get rewarded for the prettier plays, and that's how you kind of level up your... It's almost like a battle pass in a way. It's kind of how you unlock more Hut items that you can use for your actual Hut team. But the multiplayer is a pretty cool addition, because instead of just doing a cross crease pass, you might not get that many points. But if you're putting it between your legs, passing it to someone, he's going around the net doing the Michigan goal. Well, then the multiplier is just gonna really advance you through that.
Oh yeah,
so it's a pretty good game mode.
You're going to score some extra points for sure pulling off that Michigan, which yet I have not been able to do. I've been trying so hard. It is not. They didn't make it easy, which I was concerned this year was going to be a huge problem because everybody knows with games like this, you're always going to run into glitch goals and things like that. So when I saw the Michigan being a move in this, I was like, oh no. But I've been trying to do it even in practice mode, and it's so difficult to pull off, even with players with really high geeking skill level and things like that. It's not necessarily easy. But to refocus here, to jump back into one of the other game modes that they kind of revamped. Again, we're talking about a lot of revamps here. You know, with sports games like this, every year, that's the biggest challenge, is to kind of come up with what's going to make this game kind of feel new. And they didn't want to focus on next gen for NHL 21. They wanted to focus on current gen and try to give us the best experience possible. And they have done a better job. I'll definitely agree with you there. We both talked about the Be a Pro mode's been great, and this new Hut Rush, I think, is a good way to jump into Hut without the full commitment of, you know, managing your team all the time. Well, I like the commitment of managing my team, so I always tend to play a lot of EA Sports Hockey League most of the time with you guys, but when I'm playing by myself, I like to play franchise mode because there's always so many different elements to, you know, kind of control and micromanage in these franchise modes. And NHL's franchise has always been pretty good. It's always been fairly involved, but this year they've done a huge kind of revamp of the menu system, so we're getting a lot more information displayed on screen at once, so you're not having to dig through the menus, because I found last year's game, even outside of franchise mode, it was just menu after menu, tile after tile, just to get to, you know, the one game mode you want to play. So it was nice to see that when you first jump into franchise mode, there's so much information displayed on the first screen before you start toggling to some of these other sub menus. So it kind of gives you the layout of, you know, what's coming up next, what players in your team may not be as happy as you want them to be, so you need to, you know, boost team morale or possibly look for a trade. And again, this year I thought the trading system has also been kind of boosted a little bit. I always found in years prior that it was very difficult to pull off trades. You would usually have to sell yourself short to get a player that you wanted, and it always seemed like a lopsided deal. It was very difficult to find those deals that the teams wouldn't be, you know, so just taken back by and upset that you even thought about offering those deals. So this year I went in and tried to get a couple trades going right off the bat, and I was able to pull them off with, you know, quite a bit of ease. And it was more player for player trade. I didn't have to trade as many draft picks, and, you know, maybe I kept a little bit of salary to, you know, sway the trade a little bit in their favor so I could get the player I wanted. But I found it definitely a lot easier this year in the trade aspect of franchise mode. And then you get into all the upgrades to your arena, and then your goals for the season, and the ability to be fired if you're not doing a good enough job. So like, there's, you know, they did a good job this year in kind of, you know, refreshing that franchise mode and making it just that much more involved. Because if you want to play franchise, you're already really interested in the fact of all, you know, jumping in and doing all these small tasks and micromanaging. So kind of having a little more of that is definitely more enjoyable for somebody that wants to play in this game mode. But I want to stay with franchises just for a second here, and it was talked about heavily on kind of a wish list of things that I know previous players wanted in this year's game. We were talking about online franchise, and it's something they don't have in NHL. They had it years and years ago, and they got rid of it. And they haven't had it back. We have had online Hut leagues, but they've also now gotten rid of that in turn for the rush modes you were talking about earlier. So now we have absolutely no way to have an online league in NHL other than playing EA Sports Hockey League. And that is... it's disappointing, because online franchise and being able to jump in and play as your favorite NHL team, or have a draft with your friends to pick teams and, you know, to keep track of everybody's stats in the league as you go on, is an absolute blast. And there's third-party websites that allow you to do that, but we want it in-game. And NHL is, I don't know, I know they've heard the fans and they wanted to work on a bunch of other modes this year, but it was just really disappointing not to see that one thing implemented, because I feel like, you know, Madden's got it, FIFA's got it, NHL should have it. All right, Adam, I'm going to say the best for last, because I think this is the best game mode NHL's had since they brought it in, and it's EA Sports Hockey League. It gives you the ability to make a club with your friends, create your own custom player, kind of build them up, and play your games with your friends, you know, on the same line, compete. It's a blast. It's a game mode that we play religiously every year, whether it's frustrating or not. We have a blast playing. Exactly. we have a blast playing this game mode. But my biggest disappointment disappointing this year is we've been talking about revamped game mode this and revamped game mode that and refresh here. Well, EA Sports Hockey League got almost nothing. Like, the menu system looks exactly the same. I mean, other than maybe some different customization options, we're basically playing the same game, same mode as we played last year, with other than, you know, the new kind of smooth skating that they've talked about. And, you know, the gameplay overall is definitely a lot smoother. But to focus on the actual game mode itself, I just feel like we're playing just a carbon copy of what we played in NHL 20.
I think they're on the right track with the Be Pro and that, and I think where they missed a lot last year was with the Hockey League online that we played so much of, is they kind of abandoned it. And you know, they weren't fixing any of these problems that people were having, or the bugs or the glitch goals. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for this year's game if they're actually going to pay more attention to that and, you know, start patching problems on it. But so far this year, I think I'm just going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
All right, you know what? I'm just a little bit lower than you. I kind of had the same feeling all around. I feel like we're playing, you know, a nice refresh from last year's game. The gameplay itself is definitely a lot smoother. You know, the shooting animations, the goalies are definitely improved. The defense AI is getting better. They're not quite there yet, but definitely better than last year. You know what? I still am going to play this game till I can't stand it at some point, you know, right before the next one launches next year. So I can't knock it too much. I still had a ton of fun here. The refreshes have been great, so I got to give this one a 7 out of 10.
But you don't shy away from the spotlight.
No celebration when you score goal.
You long for it. You command it. You make the impossible look easy.
Great refresh to the Be a Pro and franchise modes. It would have been nice to see the same thing happen to the EA Sports Hockey League mode, but overall the game feels very similar to last year, but also with some very nice gameplay improvements.
On a way to play.
Obi's inspired so many players to be like him. The passion, the way he plays the game.
And the critics who pointed at the one thing you couldn't do.
The Capitals just can't seem to get it done.
Picture silence in them.
He scores! The demons have been exorcised!
The guys and I were live this week over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg to play some of Among Us. It was an absolute blast partying it up, and one of the funniest Let's Plays I think we've ever done. And I found out I'm pretty bad. But either way, here we go with Among Us. Check it out.
I found two when it was my name.
All right, I'm muted. Let's go kill somebody. Let's kill somebody here. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Oh, dang, I shouldn't have done that. I thought there was somebody else there with me. Oh, crap.
Who came in there with us?
Oh no.
Whoever came in there with us just killed someone while I was swiping that card.
I was in weapons doing tasks.
It was me, Steve, and Drew. Was that you?
Maybe.
He looks.
Oh man, I was like, oh crap, that's not gonna work. Kill.
Alright, well, it's 128.
Well, I think this is pretty obvious.
Oh man, that's pretty bad. That's hilarious.
I was like, what the heck's going on, man?
You got any words there?
You gotta vote. Oh, you can do us a favor. Go ahead and vote for the other imposter.
That's. Man, I blew that so bad.
I swiped the card as a dead body. Steve trying to swipe. Steve didn't report or do anything.
Yeah.
I'm normally such a better poker face. That was awful. Oh, I thought the other. imposter was with me. Whoops. I don't know why I was thinking that. Man, what a mess. The first time I was... Excuse me, eventing nice. I don't even know how to vent. It's my first time being... Dude, it's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't mean to report that. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw myself under the bus here too. I went to hit vent and so I don't really see how I talk my way out of this one.
Yikes.
This was a really
Among Us.
This was really
and then clicked my body.
What a disaster of a game this was. Oh man,
everybody's got their space legs under them.
That's really the worst game I've ever had.
That makes two of us.
Honestly,
oh my god.
So you could have said whatever, and I wouldn't have known.
I was just
oh my god.
Kill cooldown literally just.
What happened there? Seriously, so I went in that room thinking that I was with Flux, and there's two you guys. I'm thinking, cool, we both take his out like ninjas. Find out it's just me and three other people. I was like, crap, Flux ain't there nowhere. Oh, damn.
Oh wow.
That was funny. Alright, mute up, boys.
Well, we can hear.
You're like,
Freaking
saw
awful.
Scott for the same.
Okay, I'm muting. You can all go talk to yourselves.
That's just so sweet.
Okay, I'm muted. I'm actually muted this time. Holy crap, let's try to do this right. Alright. Oh, man. Got one? You got one? There's Corey. Oh, man, you gotta be kidding me. Really? I don't think he... Wish me luck.
Where was that?
Bodies in the hallway between electrical and storage.
Who died? Tough guy.
It
Who's
was
tough guy?
Steve. Steve
is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was coming out of navigation and I passed Drew going to navigation, so I think we're, unless he did it pretty quickly, but you can just look at him right now.
I was nowhere near it.
Hold up. I came down from cafeteria from emptying garbage to go do the second part of emptying garbage and storage, and someone walked through storage, and I can't remember who it was 100% the person that killed that person in the hallway. I'm telling you right now, and I'm thinking it was Captain Holt.
No, it wasn't me. Don't waste your vote.
I was left side with Agent.
I'm just saying, I'm sussing Holt. I'm not.
Yeah, Corey,
I'm skipping, but I'm sussing
Skipping
Holt.
I was nowhere in around, so I have no idea. I can't.
Alex, you got anything to say? I haven't heard you in a while here.
Clear an Agent for this round. He was on left side. I don't know exactly where he went, but I don't think he would have had time to get there.
Fuck, I'm saying it's Corey all the way. But
I skipped.
Definitely not me.
I
said he was cool.
Scott voted Agent.
All right, mute up.
God, us.
Drew, just follow your own rules.
Hey, I was muted.
Burn.
All right, we're killing Corey now. Let's go find Corey. Dun 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 dun. Flux is that way. Agent's over here. Oh, Agent, you're making this too easy. Oh, I think we're clear. Oh, there he goes. Where's Corey? My biggest thing is where's Corey? Oh my god. Let's go up here. Oh, here's Corey. Kids, yeah. We out. Oh, sweet. We're in navigation. Oh, good job. A little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure now. All right, we got a kill back. Oh, who's coming for this? Who's coming? Who's coming? Oh, I can't just hide here, right? We're gonna do this.
Oh, I watched you guys both. You killed me, and then I said,
yeah, redemption.
In electrical, I was like, oh.
Trying so hard to talk, and like I couldn't get a word in, so I was like, okay. So then Flux is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna vouch for Agent. And I was like, the body was over by electrical, and what I was trying to say the whole time was, I just came out of electrical. I know that sounds super suspicious, but it wasn't me who killed them. So then when I was like, wait, who said that? Because I was gonna go back and say it was Flux, because
I actually didn't kill that first guy either. I just saw you on the left side.
But it was just like you vouched for me because there was no way that I'd be able to get there, and I was like, well, no,
I killed
would have
3
been.
is.
I know, I went into admin and I was like, oh, Drew's here.
It's always Drew.
I want to be the imposter, man. Like, what's going on here?
No way. It can't be Halt again. Get. See, I'm risking it. I'm risking it. Okay, there goes Halt. We're good. Oh, he's back. He's lingering. Lingering. Head to a min. Download this one. There's tough guy. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I vented!
Yeah, you saw that, Drew, right?
Oh, did I ever? Nice try there, tough guy. Tough guy, you got busted. Steve murders Andrew and then vents.
Yeah. He just chased me for the first, like, 15 seconds.
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys were doing in storage.
I was so convinced it was Agent.
Steve, you're awfully quiet.
Tough guy.
Well, what I was just trying to figure out at the start, I always try to find a buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I always figure out.
I was trying to run away from you.
I know.
You gotta vote. You gotta vote, Steve.
Steve, you gotta vote or skip, buddy. Either way, I think you're eliminated. Steve, I think you're still muted too.
I think we'll skip you.
I haven't heard him for a while.
No, I think he's on mute or something. No, there he goes. That was funny.
Victory!
Good
I feel bad. You just wanted a buddy and then you died.
Oh, right. I just thought it because what happened is we ran into the room and we like he knew where the objective was as well. So then when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and he's like, he just ran up and did it. So I was like, okay, I'll just wait. And then I saw Mailbox walk in the room. It's the same thing. And I was like, wait, we already did this objective. Why is he in here? So that's why I was just kind of like sitting around waiting, and I was just like,
well, I get it too.
Well, yeah, no, I know. I was just like, I wanted to see who else was going to come in.
Yeah.
And then, so then, yeah, I was just trying to make friends. I thought maybe that would have really not.
Thank you so much for watching this week. Now, of course, you can be a part of the show by going to insidethegame.ca or hitting us up on our Discord, where there you can submit your clip and end off our show, just like Red Fox did. She's got a little sneaky shot and some Rainbow Six Siege action. Until next week, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you inside the game.
Scanning for electronic devices.